I'm sure you have heard or seen some ASMR in your lifetime. Why else would you click on this video? It is quite an unusual phenomenon, something that doesn't really seem tangible to most people. I mean, why would you listen to someone moaning and licking and whispering in your ear? And this phrase always struck me the wrong way. Why do people associate ASMR with moaning, something that is sexual and implies arousal? Why does one get to hear comments like, "Dude, how can you like someone licking your ear?" Or, "I can't stand to hear someone chew. Why would I even try something like that?" And aren't they kinda right? If you look at Twitch, the ASMR category is full of half-naked women that have two microphones beside them and alternating on licking those. Add in some fabric sounds and you've basically got whisper porn. In my eyes, that's not how ASMR started out, but what it evolved to. But how did we get to this point? What kind of evolution did ASMR go through to get to the point where it is now? Why did the public perception change from a curious phenomenon to something that is regarded as highly sexualized? I don't want to dive down into the history of ASMR itself. There's already a great video about that from Alex and R about it that covers this topic, linked down below. I want to focus on the evolution of ASMR, how it got more popular with each evolution to where it is today. Since I've followed the ASMR community to close to 13 years, I've seen different creators come and go, each one using the lessons learned of their co-creators to change up and revolutionize the ASMR experience. I believe nowadays that there are 3+1 types of ASMR videos that each cover a whole different experience. And you can put these types on a timeline since each evolved from another. But to show that off, we all need to have the same basis. So let's start with an explanation of what ASMR is and what it evokes in people. What exactly is ASMR? The term ASMR stands for Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response, which presents itself in a form of so-called tingles. It's a shiver that might travel down, starting from your scalp, back of the neck and upper spine. It can be compared to goosebumps, but it's not the same as goosebumps. Maybe you've had a similar kind of phenomenon while listening to a specific song. In that case, it's called frisson. The key point in ASMR is that it evokes a low-grade euphoria that comes with a combination of positive feelings and a static-like feeling on the skin. And know the important part. It can be triggered by auditory or visual stimuli. Those are usually described as triggers. Not everyone gets the same feeling or results from the same type of triggers. Triggers might include whispering or talking, personal attention, some crisp sounds like metallic foil, tapping on fingernails, plastic foil. Then there are slow movements, slow hand movements across the camera, or something like this. And some even reported vacuum cleaner noises. I don't know who can sleep to vacuum cleaner noises, and I envy those people. I also want to sleep whenever I can. Anyway, those are the key parts to ASMR. With a combination of different triggers, you may be able to experience these positive feelings. Using those triggers, creators all over the globe started creating their own videos, their own version of ASMR. And how you combine those triggers is the key part on how I classified the videos that deal with ASMR. And as the usage of those triggers changed over the last decade, so did the types of videos that got created. That means you can roughly create a timeline when each type of video was created and how they built on top of another. I classified the videos into the following 3+1 categories. The first one being pure ASMR, the second one being interactive ASMR, the third one being roleplay ASMR, and the 3.1 or 3+1 would be parasocial lewd ASMR. To explain why I use the term 3+1, I need to explain the types in order. So let's start with the first one, pure ASMR. As this phenomenon first got reported online and people started talking about this sensation, the focus was mostly on sounds. Crisp sounds, wood sounds, singing bowls, and less talking, with at most breathing or some words spoken here and there. But the clear focus of these types of videos were the sounds. From brushing on the mic to tapping on some wood to crinkling some foil, it was kind of expected that you get your tingles from these sounds alone. A good microphone was always necessary to really get those sounds, and an early example of this done right is massage ASMR. They realized early that a good microphone was necessary to get the most out of these sounds. With their insane setup and high quality videos, for that time they are now remembered as one of the grandfathers of ASMR. Even 10 years ago you had videos getting up to 400,000 views. But even there you had a lot of talking in comparison to modern day ASMR purists. Those creators saw how you could capture these sounds and started to completely focusing on those sounds. Some creators that I classify as ASMR purists are ASMR Zeitgeist and ASMR Surge. Or maybe left side. That doesn't mean they never did any other videos that fall outside of this category, but most of their content and strength falls into this territory. Some years ago, this was the primary way you would listen to ASMR. There wasn't much talking or role-playing going on, just primarily sounds that would eventually give you some tingles. But that's not how it would continue forever, since if you're already in front of a camera holding your tingle object, why not talk about it? This is how from pure ASMR you could see the transformation to interactive ASMR. Interactive ASMR is kind of the middle step between pure ASMR and roleplay ASMR. While there's still a focus on the sounds, it is now accompanied by some talking. It could be around the trigger itself, how they sound, and what they could be compared to. You could also see creators get more creative with their triggers, interacting with them in a new way to find new and unique sounds. This process of finding new sounds, talking or rather whispering about them, gave the whole ASMR experience a whole new layer. Since the focus changed slightly from these sounds to the person presenting them, you could see an increase in attention to the background and presenting. Some notable creators that fall into this range are Marno ASMR or Raffy Taffy ASMR. By the time interactive ASMR took off more and more, you were already able to see the third category of ASMR, roleplays. Roleplay ASMR takes it another step further, almost reaching audiobook levels. You were already talking about some of the sounds, why not accompany it with a reason or a slight story? So people started creating stories and roleplays. Visits to the doctor, booking into a cottage, visiting a wand shop, but always accompanied by the focus of specific sounds. Instead of just writing sounds, the doctor was taking notes while talking to you about your condition. But this shift of concept meant that the sounds might not always be the main focus of the video. They accompanied the video, but may not be the full focus. Especially since acting out a full roleplay could clash with the stillness that some of the sounds need. But if done right, you had a full audiobook-like experience, and that still helped you relax and feel these tingles. Roleplays meant more scenarios that can happen, meaning more experimental ways on how those sounds were produced. And these type of ASMR videos produced to a high quality led to an insane spread of ASMR across YouTube and other platforms. It took some abstraction away, since now you just didn't listen to some weird sounds somebody was making, but instead a full audiobook. Some great examples of that are Phoenician Sailor or Jibby ASMR. But this is also the time where our OnePlus developed. The intimacy of ASMR. ASMR always had some specific traits: close, personal, intimate, paired with whispering and personal attention. ASMR is mostly something you experience alone, for yourself with a good pair of headphones. These traits are perfect for some types of roleplays, like relationship roleplays. Those roleplays were able to give someone an experience that they maybe would have never experienced naturally. Starting with a 2-hour doctor visit, a cranial nerve exam, to getting yourself a girlfriend roleplays. This is the point where intimacy became one of the leading traits of ASMR. This intimacy meant viewers slowly had a growing parasocial relationship with the creator, since those creators were always present in such intimate moment for the viewer. And there is a specific part of content creation that thrives on a parasocial relationship: streamers. Streaming is fundamentally different to creating videos. While videos are an experience that is 100% shaped and defined by the creator, a live stream is more volatile. You need to keep your audience engaged, and it isn't a 30-minute video. Instead, it's a multiple hour experience where the content creator isn't always 100% able to shape the experience. That means that a viewer could potentially grow a faster parasocial relationship with the creator as it would be with just a video. And that is exactly one of the goals of a streamer. The deeper the connection to the audience, the more and often they might tune in to see you live. But not every streamer is the same. As with different videos, every streamer has their own content. Since intimacy is so closely related with sexuality, a specific group of content creators saw their opportunity. Instead of getting banned during their pools, bathtubs and beaches streams, they saw ASMR as a different way of intimacy with the viewers, that they could potentially engage them even further. So with the explosion of ASMR roleplays, and specifically ASMR girlfriend experience roleplays, you were able to steadily see an incline in the now most popular type of ASMR streams and content. They sexualized the intimacy using ear licking, kissing, or even squishing of specific body parts, mostly using sounds instead of actually showing off. With that, they are able to create this artificial sexual intimacy with the viewer, while not stepping over the red line that a website like Twitch draws. At the same time, the rise of paid content platforms like OnlyFans meant that they can put their lighter or kid-friendlier content on a platform like Twitch or YouTube, while putting their more hardcore content that they actually intend to create and sell behind an 18+ paywall. Since this kind of content is really popular with the male audience, which is the biggest audience on a platform like Twitch, it quickly rose to the most popular spots of Twitch and YouTube. The male loneliness epidemic isn't exactly helpful to counter such kind of content. That's why I had such a hard time classifying this kind of content. In most cases, this kind of content is just role-playing ASMR, girlfriend experience roleplays, like I mentioned earlier. This content may still give you tingles, since it does include some of the classic triggers like whispering, fabric sounds, but it's not exactly the main goal. The purpose of ASMR was always the experience of tingles, getting a slightly good feeling and taking some stress off from a hard day. But that's not the goal of this sexualized content. That's why I included it as ASMR type, but wanted to make a clear distinction in their purpose. That's why I call it lewd parasocial ASMR. But as you can see, each type of ASMR evolved from one another, building on the experiences and on the knowledge of the types that came before and changing it into their own formula. While I am quite frustrated with the way ASMR is currently presented, especially with the overabundance of the type of parasocial ASMR, I still don't believe it's a bad thing. I wish that more people would see how diverse ASMR actually is and where its roots came from. But I would never judge the person that watched the parasocial type of ASMR. Besides the fact that it can still give you tingles, it can also fill a gap of personal intimacy that less and less men in our generation currently have. I hope you found this video interesting. I don't have a Patreon, nor do I have a show on Nebula. But if you like this video, consider just liking or dropping a sub, and maybe visiting some of my websites down below. In any case, thank you.